So that is my favorite show of 2022. We had Andor, House of the Dragon, Rings of Power. House of the Dragon, probably the best show of the three, but
Mhm.
Rings of Power was my favorite. So I've been so excited to finally go back to Middle Earth, to go to this time period, and we got 3 episodes that drop, which I would have loved just to get two because now the season is gonna end a little bit sooner. But man, I just love this world so much, and even though I'll say it, I've watched it twice now, all the episodes. When I finished episode 3 the first time, I was a bit let down in terms compared to season 1. Like season 1 by episode 3, I'm like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. I want to live there because it was new. I got to hear the words Valinor and Sauron and Morgoth, and we're going to
It's
all
on
these things
Numenor.
and Numenor and see it. When we saw Coruscant for the first time and Camino, we're like, oh my God, we're so hearing all that and seeing those for the first time just kind of blew my mind. So now season 2, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what Numenor is. So what's a little, and my expectation for this story was up here, the highest ones. So I'm like, it's good, but I don't feel like I felt the first time. After all my emotions went down, I watched all of them a second time. I'm like, okay, no,
Okay.
I'm good now. I'm good. There's some storylines that I love so much. I want to get to those very quickly. And others I'm like, okay, let's move along. And that was my issue the first time I watched it. Watching them a second time, I didn't have those problems. But just overall, your first watch, I know you just kind of had to rush through them as we were getting for the show today.
So
Take your time. We're not live on it.
I I liked it,
Okay.
but I kind of thought it was fine. But I kind of felt this way with the first season.
Okay.
I remember it took me a while to. By the end, I was like super on board with it.
Yeah.
I just think, and this also happens with the Lord of the Rings movies. By the way, it takes so long for things to
Get
actually like.
going.
And it's not that nothing is happening; things are happening. Like we already got Avatar. What? And they're already making the other rings. What?
That's why I like already episode 3 and the dwarves rings already being made. Like they get to me, it's like there's a lot of storylines right now that they're jamming into it, like
But like,
trying to get it moving quicker, bringing all these storylines into fruition so quickly. But again, it's 3 episodes. I think that giving us all 3 that first week feels
but
rushed.
for me with episode 2 was like, okay, things are moving, and then in episode 3, it's like, wait, here's Isildur. It's like, oh right, like Isildur's still lost, and oh
Yeah.
shit, Numenor. So it was weird for me. Like it took so long to establish everything, but again, I wasn't like bothered by it. The
Yeah.
show was beautiful. Like
It's,
it
oh
looks
man.
amazing,
Mhm.
but I just think it was kind of slow to like get started, and there was a lot of like, wait. At one point, I was like, "Wait, how did Halbrand and Galadriel meet?" And I have to like go back. And the show does take you back to how that
Yeah.
happened. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
again, I thought it was good, but I'm not frustrated by it because again, it's a very similar reaction to the
Yeah.
first season. It
Okay.
started slow, and I'm ready for it to pick up.
Yeah, I think on both seasons, that first episode probably the best so far. By at this point, by episode 3, I know episode 1 of season 1, especially with that intro, that prologue, just kind of brought everyone. Oh, this is the greatest thing
That
ever.
was so cool.
And man, I want to go back to that. And I enjoyed. It also took 20 minutes. I timed it. 20 minutes, that introduction of how Sauron was killed by Adar and get to where
Turned
he
into
was now.
Venom.
Yeah. So 20 minutes to get there, which is a long time just to, this is what happened if you want some backstory. But I love seeing the original Sauron, if we want, how angry he got when some of the orcs were challenging him, and then Adar just going, I'm just gonna kill you, and these are my children. But Sauron, dude, that manipulator, that conniving guy, just turning into mush and killing everything, and just sliding down the snow. But
Turning
for me,
turning into Venom.
basically, everything with Galadriel and Elrond, I'm like glued to the screen. So far, that's my favorite interaction. The favorite character moments right now are the two of them, and everything happening with the elves and King Galad, and now with Kirian. And then you bring, of course, Celebrimbor with Halbrand and with Anatomy shows up. But everything, Elrond is my favorite character so far this season because we've seen the Lord of the Rings. We know what happens. So it's like, yes,
That's the issue.
but I also understand Galadriel. Like,
I don't.
we need to do. I don't understand her point in terms. Like Elrond. I know what you're fearful using these rings, but the other option is that we all die basically, like in Galadriel. So we need to risk it. And he's like, we don't. You've been corrupted, and I love it when he. Even from season 1 is how much Galadriel and Elrond go back and forth. In other shows, people, I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just not gonna say what I'm feeling. They just go at it. And I love that still carries, and that's that great relationship and friendship that they have. That right now is kind of being tested. So I love seeing that. And then I got the dwarf storyline took me out a little bit. I just wanted to go back to that.
It's so much of the same. Like, talk to your father. No. Talk to your son.
Yeah.
No. Okay, fine. I'll talk to my father. Like, no, come on.
Yeah. But at least for that first episode, I guess just in general, what were some of your favorite moments? Or
I watched them like back to back, so it's all melded into one. For me, it's I do like the Elrond thing. I like his whole arc of being like, don't abandon them, guide them, basically.
Yeah.
So I do really like that. But for me, like, I was so on Elrond's side. Like, this guy manipulated you, and you're gonna use the weapon he gave you.
But he didn't touch him. How do you know? How do you know?
Whatever.
Dude,
so I just could not see her point of view. But I did like kill Galad. That's his name,
Galad, right?
Yeah. He did make kind of a little bit of sense. So, but I love Halbrand. He's such a manipulator. And Celebrimbor is such a moron. He's so full of himself.
That first time, like, how are you getting duped so easy? I know it's Sauron, Halbrand. I understand. They cannot. It's my moment. They cannot take this from me. It's like, dude, you're just. It's like it's so easy, to manipulate.
But Sauron just sees his weaknesses, and he's like, "Here I go." They didn't tell you.
We cannot let you in. He doesn't want to see. Oh, okay. Let me just show you my back that's hurt, and then the other elf. I think he's hurt. I think we need to listen to him. But real quick, going back to Galadriel and Elrond, like you said, you still believe he manipulated you. My favorite interaction so far when she finds him in episode 2 in Kirian's boatyard, like, I cannot let him inside again. And it's like, he never left. Like, you still, and again, for all the shippers out there, when she says, I cannot leave him, let him in again, and it goes to season 1 when the two of them are sitting on the log, that connection, that he never left. And you turn back from the light of Valinor to fight darkness, or was it because the darkness is already in you and pulled you back?
It's calling to you. Yeah, I like that line a lot. Again, every time you watch Lord of the Rings, think that big monster thing and Galadriel, they were a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then my second kind of favorite story so far is The Stranger with Nori. I like where it's going. Like, he's trying to find his name and trying to find the staff. We know this is Gandalf. We gotta get this staff at the end.
Has that been confirmed that it's him?
I mean, no, but
it's heavily hinted at. I know, but like,
hinted.
has in interviews it hasn't. Okay.
No, and I think even this thing about what's your name and finding his name is something that's gonna at some point prove who he is. I don't think it's gonna go straight to Gandalf. I think it's Olorin, his original name from the Valar that they gave him. I think that's the name that's gonna be called to him. Maybe the Dark Wizard is gonna be the one to say it, and then for people that know the whole history, that is, and then maybe at the end of this season, someone tells him Nori, because Gand trade to the internet, like, staff is Gand in the so maybe they go Gandalf and they add the Alf or something else. I think that Nori and that band is gonna give him the Gandalf name.
I love that line. Nobody gives you your name; it's already yours. Something like that. That's so cool.
That was great.
I like the Nile-looking guys.
That Rune, the guys from Rune. They're great. That's insect exoskeleton-looking mask. were great. The Dark Wizard, Kieran Hines, which is a great actor, bringing him back
Mm.
as not bringing him back, but bringing him in as a Dark Wizard out there to be this foil to Gandalf or to the Stranger. It's gonna be interesting as we go on.
I was super upset with the Adar recasting.
Yeah,
Completely forgot about it watching the show. He
yeah,
was great. He was
it
great.
was great. It took me a while, even before the show started, but seeing all the pictures and the trailers, like, okay, I can get into it. But yeah, after the first couple of minutes, you're like, yeah,
He
that's
nailed it.
Adar.
He
That's
nailed it.
it. It's great.
And,
And I
and he
freaking
was one of my highlights for season 1, and I loved
oh,
these two episodes.
exactly. Yeah, it was great. I love again freaking Halbrand, Sauron, Anatar when he has to bow down to
Shows up
Adar
as
and
the
say,
Dark Lord.
I pledge
Uh,
allegiance to the Lord
to
of
Mordor and the Dark Lord.
Yeah, it's like, and he got a little smile, like, I'm pledging allegiance to
Yeah.
myself. You just
Yep.
don't know it yet.
That when he shows up as Anatar, it's like Jesus painting.
Exactly. And you'll be known as the Lord of the Rings. And Celebrim was like, yes, fine. It's kind of
I have
on
a
the
pet.
nose, but we'll
I
take
have
it.
a pet peeve when they say the title of things in movies and shows. So it's like,
And they said Rings of Power 3 times, I think, already. They said it.
yeah. But they are the Rings of Power,
Yeah.
and Celebrimbor is the Lord of the Rings, so whatever.
Yeah, it is. So I like that Anatar now with Celebrimbor working to create the rings. I love when the dwarves kind of finally kind of come back to help out and hand Celebrimbor the mithril, and then Sauron just kind of takes like, I'll put it in. He closes his feet. Oh man, it's right there. He's just corrupting everything. So I love those little notes. The score is magnificent.
Oh,
I
yes,
love all the little hints through all the themes. Yeah. Same as with other being recast, I miss that Bronwyn is not there for Arondir. That they killed her on the show, but the actress kind of took off from acting. I think she's from Iran. I went to do some
they killed her
activism.
off screen, right?
Sorry?
They killed her off screen, right?
Yeah. I was hoping for at least one scene with her, but they've been saying for a while that she didn't want to kind of keep acting right now. She wanted to go do something else. So they didn't recast. They kind of killed her off screen, saying that the orc arrow was a little bit too much for humans to handle. That's one thing that threw me off. By the end of season 1, Arondir and Theo were finally, they got together as they could respect each other. And I understand that your mom dying kind of changes your visions of it, but they kind of brought back to that relationship that he didn't see eye to eye with Arondir again. I'm sure we'll come back by the end, but
I despise Theo so much. And when I saw she had died, I was like, okay, so now I hated that they killed her, by the way.
Yeah,
but like, if the actress is doing something in the real world, awesome.
Yeah.
But I was like, maybe now they can kill Theo.
Yeah, just kill that guy. But we'll see. And again, for my wife watching when Arondir came back, she's like, okay, finally, now this is the show. She loves elves. She loves the Puerto Rican elf out there, of course, gotta represent with Arondir and Ismael Cordova. But then just finishing up with freaking Numenor, the insurrection of Numenor. I mean, Farazon, give it to him, he's a great politician. But the other two kids, I hated them in season 1. I hate them now. Freaking Arian and Kevin, or whatever his name is. Dude, I hate them. I hate that they took the crown from Queen Muriel. They manipulate, the eagle comes in, and then the freaking guy starts chanting, Farazon. No, the eagle's not there for him, but we know Numenor is gonna fall. So
and he was wearing red.
Red.
When I saw him like go to, I was like, oh, of course he is.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna give her the red anyways because she couldn't see. But when she comes out with the white dress, okay. And then I saw he was in red, and oh, you bastard! You knew what you were doing.
Make Numenor great again. I like that storyline. What's Isildur's father's name?
I'm not even gonna tell you.
Oh my god, he's even in the prologue for Lord of the Rings. Elendil. I love Elendil.
I love him. I love Elendil. I love the relationship he has with Muriel. Again, more shippers out there. I'll give it to them.
Oh,
But
and
yeah,
that this means that then they're not the people from Numenor. They're not going back then because I don't think Pharazon's gonna send them.
the army is not going back.
Oh,
Guessing that Elendil will probably go
well,
back
he
with
will.
someone.
He has to
And
go.
we saw Valandil, like Isildur's friend, who's
Mhm.
about to throw hands. Like she got blinded
Yes.
saving your brother. So why the hell you here chitter
Oh,
chatting?
are you insulting my father? No, I'm insulting you.
You wanna deal with this outside? It's all good for now.
Yep.
So I'm thinking at least some people will go back, but not the whole army.
Yep.
But Numenor, your days are numbered. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So I think it's a good start. Maybe not a 10 out of 10 right now, but there's a lot of promise for what's
I just
to
saw
come.
so many raving reviews that when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is fine, I guess. So we'll
maybe
see.
those people got to see more episodes. Who knows?
I think a lot of people saw the whole thing. But again, the first season, it took me like 4 episodes to get like super on board with it. And by the end, I was like, this is awesome. So,
I mean, Middle Earth, man, like Star Wars, again, like you said, Star Wars is inked in my skin forever. But there's something about Lord of the Rings and this world that I just gets me, and I get teary-eyed and everything. All right, that does it for our talk on the Rings of Power right now.